Alright. Hi! Welcome to my Flosstube channel. I'm not going to delete this one. My 7-year-old said that I am not to delete anymore, but I have tried and failed several times to start this freaking channel. So, like I said, welcome to my channel. My name is Erin. I am here because I love cross-stitching, and you can hear my child in the background. And I wanted to, I've seen a couple of floss tubes, and some of them are like definitely not, I'm a newer cross stitcher. Shh. I'm not going to delete this. I am a newer cross stitcher. I've only been cross stitching since about 2020. And really only in the last year, because 2020 was hard for everyone. And anyway, so I kind of wanted to make a cross stitch channel, a floss tube channel, for people who are not as experienced like myself, because not all of us are doing heaven and earth designs. I can't. I tried. I know. Oh God, I have a couple of whips. Like, I have at least one whip that my partner made me of Huggy Wuggy. Huggy Wuggy is like a cartoon video game character that my daughter's obsessed with. And I can't. It's so hard to do full coverage. So this is not a channel for full coverage. This is a channel for, like, everyday things. And this is also probably not a channel for a lot of, like, for example, like, I don't understand scroll frames. I have a couple of scroll frames, but I can't get into them yet. But maybe in this journey with you guys, I can learn to understand the scroll frames. Like, when I first started, the person who taught me didn't even use hoops, and she was like, just hand hold it. And so I've been doing hoops probably in the last year. I kind of picked that up and decided I loved it. So you never know. So, like, my point is that you can enjoy things, find things you enjoy. So like I said, my name is Erin. I have a gaggle of children, and a couple of, a stepdaughter. I have a 7-year-old who's sitting here coaching me, and I also have a 12-year-old, and a billion pets, and I'm a therapist outside of here, so I do try to integrate a lot of mental health into my cross stitch, as you will see with my WIPs. People call them whips, and that's weird to me. And I'm talking fast because I'm so excited. I also, let's see what else. So there's a lot of things that'll come up that about cross stitching that I love. There's a lot of things that I don't understand about cross stitching, so I'm hoping, like, to be part of the community of people that are new. And if you like Flosstube that is just stitch with me, or a Flosstube that's a tutorial, or definitely if you only like Flosstubes that's floss and cross stitching, then this is not for you, because I probably will end up talking about my life a little bit. Not that my life is super interesting, but I mean, I'm interested in my life. And I'm hoping that this can be another avenue, like I said, for me to share my creativity. So I guess the way that this goes, and if I do this wrong, please don't correct me, because I can't stand criticism, is to start off with whips, right? It's whips, and then haul, and then finishes, or I guess you could start off with finishes, which I could. Kimmy, can you go bring me the cross stitch that's on the couch? I could show off the one that I just finished, because I did just finish something. I usually only have one whip or WIP at a time. No, the one on the couch. Oh. The one that has the monsters on it. So like I said, I usually only have one at a time. If I'm doing a stitch along, I just finished the Witchy Stitchers stitch along, then I do have more than one whip at a time. So, so let's get into whips first, and then I'll do the finishes because my daughter is getting my finish. Um, I think it's super hilarious to call it a whip. It's WIP, works in progress, and the reason why I find that to be hilarious is because back when I was writing fan fiction for Marvel on Archive of Our Own, I called them WIPs in my head. You don't know what they're called. And so, thanks. So, so whip it's weird in Flosstube to hear it called whip. I'm like, oh, whip, like whip, right? So anyway, so I am working on, and I'll link it in the video. I think it started off as a stitch along, but I got to it late. A self-care bingo. Oh, I wish you guys could see. It's reversed. I think that's probably because I need to reverse my camera. I will do that for the next video. But it says self-care bingo, and I love this cross stitch pattern. I'm planning on putting it in my office when I'm finished. And it has things like drank water or got dressed, which sometimes the struggle is so real. I'm working on take your medicine right now, which I don't know if you guys can, it's white on the white parts of the medicine right here. So far my favorite has been Speak Up, because I don't always think about spoke up as a form of self-care, but it is. Isn't that cool? What is your favorite square? I'm asking my 7-year-old. The rainbow one? This is my 7-year-old's favorite square. Read a book. Reading rainbow. And the cool thing about my whip, I think the cool thing about me, is that I use a metal hoop. I went on Amazon or eBay. So what happened was I found a metal hoop at an old thrift store, and I got it for like $1. And I just think these are so cool and vintage. They probably screw up my work or something. I don't know, like the metal. But I have a bunch of them in different sizes. I went on eBay and researched vintage metal hoops. And I just feel so vintage and cool by using them. So I have a vintage metal hoop that I use in my cross stitch. I'm hoping to finish this whip by, let's see, how many squares do I have? I have 10 more squares, so I'm doing about one a day. So I don't know. I'm hoping to update my video weekly, so I should be almost done the next time that I have a video. Definitely in 2 videos I should be done, and then I plan on working on something else. I'm doing a YouTube video. My son just walked in. And the other thing that this whip reminds me of is needles. Like, I use a basic Chinese sold on Amazon 100 at a time needles, because I'm losing them everywhere, because I've tried needle minders and the magnet is not strong enough to hold my needle for some reason, because I'm still losing my needles all over the place. My daughter and my whole family is finding needles everywhere. So if you have a trick for keeping your needles, let me know, because I'm losing my needles. And so that's why I haven't invested in like a ball tip needle, because I would keep reading about how amazing those are. I bought some bow-in needles and I lost the first one, and then I said, ooh, I better keep these up because these are fancy. These are expensive. So anyway, my cross stitch, oh, and the fabric is just some fabric I got on on Prime Day. It's like cloudy. I don't even see. Yeah, you can kind of see the clouds. That is another thing that I'm hoping to get into, is the hand dyed fabric. I did try that. I'll show you in my finish in a minute. But maybe you guys can point out some really good hand dyed fabrics. I'm using 14 count, I think. I've tried using 18 count and it was way too freaking small. And so the idea of using linen freaks me out. And if, like, again, it's like I did have a whip once that I never finished that was on like a pillowcase kind of thing that I got from a thrift store, and it was too intense. So baby stitcher here. I'm going to use just 14 count for a while until I can branch out and gain some cojones. So like I said, this is by Sew Marie Studio. I have been putting my progress with her on Instagram, and I will tag or link to her to this in the video. So the next thing, so I don't have any other whips right now. Like I said, I try to do one at a time. Well, that's not true. I do have some kind of printed one that I've started, but I've only done like 5 stitches. It's not really worth it to say it's a whip. It sits in my bag and it doesn't come out. So the next one is my finish. It's not framed or anything, although I plan on framing it. Is my Witchy Stitcher Supernatural Monsters stitch along. I'm really proud of this because it took, I started when everybody else started and I finished on time. And I'm proud of it because I did do some things off pattern on my own. Like I picked my own color a little bit. So that felt really brave and cool. So the Witchy Stitcher on Etsy, she has a cool Facebook group too. She published this where like it was like once a week, and then there was a couple gaps, different monsters. And I know she has a cryptid one as well. She's got a really cool vibe. A lot of her patterns are witchy and dark, and not dark like gothic. I mean, dark like gothic, but not like depressing. More like the Addams Family kind of dark. So I really recommend giving her Etsy shop a gander. And what is our favorite? I'll tell you what my son's favorite is first. His favorite is the Banshee. This one. Banshee. And what is my 7-year-old's favorite square? The unicorn. Let me show you. So this was also on 14 count Ada. And this is what I was saying about dyeing fabrics. Something I did dye myself. I did it with tea. And I don't drink tea, I drink soda. And so I dyed it with the only tea I had on hand, which was like a hibiscus tea, red hibiscus. And so it started off red, but I have a feeling because I dyed it with tea and not like red, that it came out brown after time. But still, it was bright bleached white when I'm really excited. And it's like I'm learning, as I said. So anyway, so this is my Witchy Stitcher Stitch Along finish. I will let you know when I frame it. Now, to get into haul. So, wow, this video is taking a lot longer than I thought. Okay, so the first part of my haul is a little bit old, but new to you guys. When about a month ago in October, so maybe a little bit more than a month ago, 2 months ago, we went to Albuquerque. And so I'm in California, Southern California. We went to Albuquerque to visit family, and in Southern California, there are no stitch shops, at least not in LA County or Ventura County where I'm at. They have Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's. There are some knitting shops, but there really aren't any stitchy shops. There was one in the valley that we went to, and they were closed, even though their hours said they were open. So screw them. Not really. Don't screw them. But and then there was a knitting shop that we went to in Santa Barbara, and I thought it said like yarn and fiberworks or something like that, and so I was like, oh, maybe they have some cool embroidery thread. I went in, and the shopkeeper was like, oh, our owner doesn't like cross stitch, so she doesn't carry anything, which, ugh, again, like, cross stitch is not nearly as popular in Southern California as it is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So I went, there were like 3 cross stitch shops in Albuquerque, and we only had time to go to one, which was the Stitcher's Garden, which was like, oh, amazing. A Stitcher's Garden in Albuquerque. I can't remember what street it was on, but if you Google it. And so we went around Balloon Fiesta. I got a couple things. The first thing I got was this project bag, which you can stitch onto. I don't know what I'm going to stitch onto it. It could be like I stitch onto it that thing, like proof that I have patience to stab 1,000 times. What I might stitch onto it is one of my new patterns that I got from Albuquerque. So this one, I got 2 Southwestern designs. So the first one is Southwestern Designs #1, Southwest Decoratives. And it is a Zuni symbol and a Zia symbol. They're like fetishes, and one of them is the New Mexico symbol. I'm trying to see who actually designed by Ellen Nadler. Let me bring these up close so you can see how cool these are. Oh, I love it. I love it, especially the bear one. So I'm thinking maybe this one on my stitch bag. Okay. And then the next pattern that I got is a Tree of Life. It's the same Southwest Decoratives Rugs of the Southwest series. And this one was designed by Nancy DeCoco. This chart is not shareware. I will link the website to these. But this one is also beautiful. So I'm thinking maybe those will be my next whips. Okay, so then the next thing that I got, it's so funny because I got a ton on Etsy, but I haven't figured out how to share with those with you. So if I do a whip of those, I will share it. But anyway, Unicorn Tapestry by Tiny Modernist. Okay, so how I got these next patterns. There is an Etsy shop called StashLLC. I'll link to it. And I was watching Fortnite Fabrics do one of these patterns, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta have it. And so I searched for it, and I found the Etsy shop of this lady who, I don't know if she's de-stashing, but she's a gift. She's a literal gift because these patterns were from her shop. And I'm used to buying Etsy patterns, and so having like the hard copy pattern, like, my mind's blown. So, Tiny Modernist Unicorn Tapestry. My daughter is so excited about this. And I'm excited because the back tells me that less than a skein is needed for everything except for navy blue. Yes. 100% yes. Can you go get me my big black cone of thread? You know what I'm talking about? That's on the shelf. I want to show you guys why I'm excited about having less than a skein from Tiny Modernist. Because Witchy Stitcher uses so much freaking black that I did what a lot of people do, and I got that black DMC 310. Yes, that is what I need. Can you bring it here so I can show you guys? So, my lovely assistant is bringing my cone of doom over as soon as she can. In the meantime, I'm going to show you guys the rest of my haul. This one, it is Heartstrings Transflurry, done by Beth Twist. Sunday Stitches, the Old Rugged Cross. Again, it's flipped. I'm sorry, you guys, but you can at least see the idea of it. I will cling to the Old Rugged Cross. It's just a hymn that I really love, and that's really personal to me, and I saw that, and I went, I have to have it. Okay, so here is my DMC 310. I will never run out, because I did end up having to go in the middle of the night to Michael's to buy 310, and then I saw on the Witchy Stitchers Facebook group that people were buying Cone of Doom, they call them. and I was like, yes, that is worth it to me. So I think I did that on like a Joann's sale. Okay, so the next pattern that I have is Loving Star. It's designed by Karen Kluba, and it says, perhaps they are not stars in the sky, but rather openings where a loved one shine down to let us know they are happy. So this is Rosewood Manor, and it is basically like a memorial stitch, and it is not so there's a bunch of little stars. They're stars. They're not French knots, which I'm also thrilled about because F you French knots. I can't get those down either. And I know colonial knots are supposed to be easier, but, or beading. Like being a newbie, I'm like, oh, that sounds scary. So I haven't done it. I've tried to do a couple French knots, and maybe once or twice, I'm like, yes, I got it. And then the rest of the time, I'm not good. So we're still working on that, which is why that pattern is awesome. Okay, and my last pattern to share is the one that from Fortnite Fabrics that they were working on. I don't think they finished it because they never finished anything. But it's Lulu S Cactus Harding Privé. I will fix this light thing too the next time I upload. So this is by Natalie Cichon, I think. I don't know. But anyway, it's beautiful. It is so cute. So you can see that my designs are definitely not like heaven and earth. Definitely not. So the last thing that I want to share is that my kids and I decided to do an hour-long trip from where we live to this lady who was selling her old cross-stitch stuff. And she basically sold me this huge Tupperware full of her cross-stitch stuff. And she was destashing. I think she was like, I'm done trying. So she gave me like, for $50, like a whole crap ton of magazines that I probably won't use, although my daughter says she wants something from one of them. A DMC 310 chart, old school chart. And a couple hoops. The reason why I paid $50 and drove an hour is because, oh, and also a ton of Ada. She gave me all of these, and they're organized by number, and I don't have to do all of that work. That's a gift. Like, I'm not an organized person, and so the ability to have all of those things available for me is super helpful and handy. And probably everybody around me appreciates that I have at least some of this corralled. So, yeah. So probably my plan is to upload this either weekly or every other week. I'm not sure yet because I'm new and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. Definitely to flip my camera and maybe fudge with the lighting a little. And also to finish the self-care bingo, and I have a Huggy Wuggy design that's not a heaven and earth type full coverage confetti full design that I might do, but I also might do either the unicorn tapestry or one of my Southwestern designs, just because I don't know, just to try something different. And also I have a feeling that the Southwestern designs might be a fast finish, which would be nice. So, this is where I go, if you like my channel, please hit like and subscribe, because that's what I've heard my 12-year-old and my 7-year-old say on their pretend YouTube channels. I definitely am hopeful that I will have 1 or 2 views, and I look forward to feedback as far as any tips that people have, but like I said, just being a part of a Flosstube channel that's like a beginner cross-stitcher, I'm really excited about being a voice for as much as I possibly can for that. Cross stitching is something that I started as part of my own mental health, and to relax and to feel productive and creative, and to make things that are meaningful. And so I'm really excited about this part, to share this aspect. It's kind of stepping out of my comfort zone, to talk and to be content create. Well, it's kind of not. Like I said, I made fan fiction. So anyway, like I said, if you would like to hit like and subscribe, that would be awesome. I will. It's today's Saturday. If I could do videos on Saturdays, maybe that would give you guys something to listen to when you're stitching, like I do. I've been listening to Flosstubes while I stitch, and it's kind of cool. Do you want to share anything with Flosstube? No? Are you sure you don't want to share like a Beanie Baby or anything? Okay. So my 7-year-old is chickening out, but she was going to share something, but no, she's not. I appreciate your time, and I hope to do this again. Thank you so much. All right. Bye.